Okay, what I'm up to now, this is the wing of a control line trainer. After all these years, I pretty much fall in that category. And this is the one I chose. It's got a solid wing profile, and takes a 15 to a 25. I think if you put a 25 in this airplane, you get yourself a racing plane. So I got a Enya 15 control line engine I'm going to put in it. And so far, all I've done was should be drying. I'm using this slow cure CA. So there's a plywood piece goes in the middle of the wing and the bottom. It has somewhat of an airfoil, as you might be able to see there. And I put the CA on there. I just got everything lined up and in place, and I squeezed it good, hit it with the kicker, and immediately put it down on the table. And I use these 50 caliber round balls for a muzzle loader as weight. Next step, you take these just little round pieces of plywood, and what I like to do with stuff like this, as I did with this piece of ply here, is sand the edges taper downwards so it kind of flows in with the part it's glued to, rather than just having a sharp edge. And you'll find covering, if you use covering, which I'm thinking about using light span on this plane, will go on a little more easily. I did this. I'm doing the same thing with these. See, the bottom is just flat, but then I taper the edges. This one's done. That'll go right about there, and this will go on the top, so I'm going to do the same with this. Okay, books say to draw a 2 16 inch line from the leading edge. Following instructions on building any airplane, even one as simple as this, can save you some grief. So 2 16 from the leading edge. 2 16. Actually, I'll do 2 that way, and guaranteed the line's going to be straight. We're only dealing with balsa wood here, so don't want to make the line too deep. Maybe sanding like crazy trying to get it out. Looks like that butts right up against the, so I'll give us an idea where to make that a little darker. You gotta see it through a hole in that plywood. Good. That's all there is to that. So I just say 2 16 inch from here to here. Draw a line. I put 2. I measured twice. That way you're guaranteed that line's straight. Because all you're doing is when you drill a hole in that disc, which is your bell crank mount, is you're looking to see this line through the hole, and the edge of the disc is just going to go up against that fella there. Okay, I can easily see that hole, or the line through this hole. I'm using slow cure thick CA on all these plywood here. And okay, I just line the center of the hole up with the line I got drawn there. And I'll just give it a little squeeze into place. It's kind of nice, this stuff, because nothing doesn't even your fingers, it doesn't seem to glue instantly. I don't recommend you test that theory, but I want to speed her up. Let's give her a blast of the old kicker. And that speeds things up for you pretty good. Now this is the bottom of the wing too, so now, yeah. Next step, I'll stick that in the drill press. Gets it nice and level and go through the balsa. May seem like overkill, but I kind of like to have it nice and straight. Okay, you see I get the hole all the way through the wing. Now as I put this on, I have the grain in the plywood running the same as the grain in the wing, and that way it'll bend with the a little easier with the curve that's in the top of the wing. Not that there's a whole lot, but there's a bit of an airfoil in this wing, so I'll get the old thick CA out. You could use epoxy, I suppose, for this, but even their plans are saying that just to use a thick and thin CA and or epoxy. Okay, I want to make sure it's lined up the hole. Now this is the slow dry. So place. You want to make sure the cover's on your CA. So I got the drill bit in there to keep everything lined up. If you glue yourself to the wing like I just did, which is not uncommon with doing this sort of thing, just roll your finger off, or you might have to, if you're really glued on good, you get the good old debonder. Now my drill bit's a little sticky, but give it a little. Out she comes. Just CA won't stick to that smooth shank very well. Yeah, that's on there good. I like to do any of these, especially when it's going through balsa, drilling holes in wood like that. I'll take a little bit of thin NCA, let it run through the hole, and you can usually tell when it came through the other. This one could use another little. There we go. Suck up the excess stuff. blow through the hole and that'll get the excess out the other end. Don't get your lips on there because moist skin, buddy, that'll stick like right now. Blow out. Got no more coming out of there. Rip with the old kicker. Both ends. Of course, you know that thin CA is going to wick inside the hole and that'll get nice and hard in there. There. Perfect. Okay, we're at the other end here, so we can get a little closer. Not to even make out the whole lot. From the leading edge of the wing back, I measured 2 little marks here, 1 1/8 inch. Always go 2, that way you're going to have a straight line. Now, the idea is we're going to hollow out a spot to put this lead weight in the wingtip. As you know, with control lines, you want the outboard wing heavier than the inboard where your lines are. I might leave this flush. They want it countersunk. I might, and then cover it with a piece of thin scrap wood to hide it. I'm thinking decide whether or not I'll leave that exposed a bit, countersunk, so a fella could put another one on to adjust the balance out there. Okay, I get that drawn out. I think they say to do this everything upside down. I think they're hinting to do it at the top. The way I may finish this, I might just clear dope it, leave the natural color of the wood, or I might cover it with light span. Either way, you're going to see through it. So I want this on the bottom. I'm going to do it their way. I'm going to glue this countersunk, put a piece of wood over it, and sand it flush, but I'm going to have it on the bottom. I'll just use this fella here to hog it out. Actually, first, I'll cut the area around the square with an exacto knife, and then I'll hog it out. That way you get a nice clean square edge. Okay, get that all carved out. I'll just use a drill bit, fits in the hole there. As you can see, got a nice little rectangle there. The lead will fit in there, so I'll just give her some gluing. And again, I'm just going to use the thick CA soda iron stuff. Now there's not going to be any alignment, so what I'm going to do is pre-coat this bastard with kicker. Get him in there fast, hold him down. She's cured. Like I said, this is the slow cure stuff, so it's cured. Shavings. Now, next step will be to glue a piece of, see, this is countersunk, it's not flush. Glue a piece of 1/16 inch balsa scrap over that. We'll sand her flush and call it hidden. There is no 1/16 inch scrap in this kit. Of course, I got lots of that kicking around anyway. Now I'm going to put because I already got kicker in here, I'm going to put the CA on the balsa. So if I put it in here, it's probably gone, but I'm not going to take that chance. squeeze the glue with the other hand, because this hand is a little bit of a nuisance right now. Figures I get some good enough. Stick them in there, press them down. Kind of like this slow dry thick. Unlike dinner. I'm going to need a little fudge, because you'll find when you're using the flat blade, I use this fella here, the edge of it, to get the right depth, kind of mars that a bit, so you might want to, probably should have pulled the blade out a little more, but I'll just use a little bit of the filler on that. It's on the bottom of the wing, which is why I put it there, but these edges here, perfect. Okay, that weight, just reread the very end of the instructions, does go on the underside. Now, the laid out guide, even if you're going to dope it, these things are laser cut, so all the edges are black. I sand all that off, so you say I might clear dope the whole plane, leave the natural wood color, and just put some stripes and stuff on it or whatever. So I'm sanding off the edges to get rid of that burnt wood. And another thing with the lead out in this particular kit, they have a unique curve, so you want them, these two halves get glued together, so you want those curves to match when you glue these halves together. Okay, because it's slow drying CA, got the clamps on it. I really taking a shine to this stuff, because it lets you get things lined up before it hardens. Unlike the other stuff, you got like 2 or 3 milliseconds and you're shit out of luck. So the slow setting stuff is works out quite well. It gives you the best of, kind of gives you the best of epoxy and thick CA together, because it doesn't take half an hour to dry. I don't like the 5 minute that much, because it doesn't bond as well as a 15 or 12 minute or 30 minute. But this CA is nice, and it gives it a chance to soak into the wood a bit too. Now, what's kind of neat about this is this guide. Goes right through the top, the slot in the wing, all the way into the bottom. Comes out the bottom. That's why it has that shape. This curve should line up with the top of the wing, and these just come down and rest on the. It's almost like a saw blade taper they got in there, but it's not wide enough. I'm just flipping it over here. Just center this. I'm going to open up that slot so it's the same width as this with a knife. So you just try to push it through, you're going to have a lot of ugly looking damage right about where that slot is there. So spare you that, and we'll get back to it when I'm done. So this knife's about as dull as a monk's love life, I'll tell you. Okay, that took a little bit of trimming, got the hole a little longer, and I had to adjust these tapers a bit. Another thing to watch out for, they don't really mention in the plans, and I got that set so it's a little bit below the surface, is having the distance. You want to position, there's two ways that I notice there's a little bit of a difference. How you can position this so that these holes are probably the same distance from here, or you can measure from there as well because they're about the same. So yeah, you don't want this kind of cockeyed or anything. Those lead outs should be coming out the same distance from the bottom of the wing. So I'll get the old thick and slow CA out, glue that bad boy in there. The little taper there. And just below the line. It's going to push up when I slide them in there. I'm just going to measure it up, make sure she's straight. What's nice about the slow cure, you get time to do that. I measured her up, she's good. So, I'm going to glue at the top. Just a little bead on the bottom here. Medium would probably do a little better here, but oh well. Don't want to get that around there too much. Yeah, it's actually sinking in there really nice. Give it a little wiggle, and especially in this side, went in there really well. Okay, got a nice bead along there. A lot of it sank in as I wanted it to. Gives a nice glue joint. And let's see the other side. He did nice too. And on the top, this is just below the surface, and that'll allow me to get some filler in there and make a nice smooth look there. A little jagged on the edges of this plane. I don't know if they're supposed to be sharp or not, but I'm going to be rounding those off a little bit. Be careful on the trailing edge, not to go too crazy, because you're going to be gluing the non-movable flaps, I guess. They call them flaps, but they're pretty much an extension of the trailing edge. Gives it that flight streak shape. Okay, that's it for the wing. So we got our lead out guide in place. So bottom aluminum, yeah, not building an ultralight here. The bottom plywood, and what's nice here is they're using birch ply. So I got the plywood piece on the bottom. Got the bell crank mount in on the top and bottom. And we got our lead weight in the tip. So this is done. And tomorrow night, start on the fuselage. And ooh, they did a nasty job there, I'll tell you. Yeah. It's the only nasty part in the whole plane, or the whole kit. It's Brodak kit, and then the actually the balsa is really nice in this kit, but Well, can't get it right. Can't be perfect all the time, I suppose. We'll fix that up, no sweat.